Cast on Facebook Live right now, so it's streaming to thousands of people. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Martin Eiden team's Ask the Expert. And as you know, at the beginning of every month, we get to talk to an expert in a different area. And today I'm very pleased to have Betsy Runnell of Compass talk to us about Northern Westchester. So welcome, Betsy.
Thank you, Martin. I'm so happy to be here. What a fun way to spend my afternoon with you.
Right, it's nice and sunny. It was rainy. Yes, was it rainy by you yesterday?
Yeah, there was even the day before there was like sleet or hail for a mini second. It was unbelievable. But today it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. So again, as everybody knows, it's the first Thursday of every month. We talk about a different market segment. We talk about the market for about the first 15 minutes. And then we talk about some specific real live properties that you could buy right now, today. Betsy is ready to sell you all of them, and that's what everybody loves to have. It's their favorite part is seeing actual real properties. So Betsy, of course, as we're wrapping up here 2020, the big story is suburbs are on fire this year. Everybody wants more space. Everybody wants their own Shangri-La. What's going on with Northern Westchester?
So Northern Westchester, I wrote down some stats, actually, did some homework.
Very scientific. Excellent.
Student. I'm really not a stats person, but I'm like, some of the audience will be, so let me give it to them. So Westchester overall, year over year, doubled its sales volume this year. And a little case in point is Compass Westchester this year, because of 2020, has now surpassed $1 billion in sales, and that's in a total of just 3 years. But the impetus was 2020. That's what pushed us over the $1 billion mark.
That's amazing.
Isn't that
absolutely amazing? That's incredible.
Westchester. Yeah. So,
wow.
And that's attributed to 2020, really just like pushing us over the edge.
Everybody going on. So yeah, and Betsy, we work with a few common clients. So Betsy, I tell everybody, people are saying, well, who's all leaving the city and who's going to the suburbs? And I say that basically everyone that had the plan of, I'm going to move out to Westchester or Long Island in New Jersey in the next 1 to 5 years, all decided to do it this year.
That's right.
And that's kind of where the big jump is. And is that what you're finding on your side as well?
Absolutely. We see a ton of Brooklyn people coming up, Queens now, the city, of course. And we do see Long Island people who, not the Hamptons, but Long Island people who live their day to day and are tired of the taxes. They even transition to Westchester.
Interesting. No, that makes sense. So so now tell us a little bit about Northern Westchester and what separates it from the southern part. And what are some of the great kind of unique things about that area?
Okay, so I grew up in Bronxville, which is southern Westchester. Dense, great, good school, beautiful town to live in, lots of hustle and bustle and fun, and 25 minutes from the city on the train. I had left and moved out to Santa Fe with my family for a number of years. Then we came back, and I had the choice: do I want to go and live back in Bronxville, which I knew, or do I want something else? So having been out in Santa Fe with space and freedom and, no honking at the first second the green light turns, I was like, I can't do Lower Westchester anymore. It's just too intense for me, too densely populated. So I decided I would move to the Bedford area, which includes Bedford, Pound Ridge, Katona, South Salem, and Mount Kisco, which is a wonderful little town and up and coming. But the benefits of Northern Westchester are it's less populated still, and this is all relative to New York. I mean, we're not talking about like Iowa, where it's acres and acres.
It's a suburb. It's a dense suburb.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's a suburb.
Go ahead.
So, but you have like in Pound Ridge, for example, it's usually a minimum of 2 acres per property. They limit building. Yeah, they limit building to 50%. So we literally have, I think it's 51% conservation land in the town of Pound Ridge, and it's protected forever. So they're serious about that kind of thing in Pound Ridge, which limits the number of people who live here and the size of the properties that can be built and developed. And then we also have lower taxes. Bedford and Katona have the highest taxes, but they're like half of what you get in Scarsdale and Bronxville and all of that. And with that, you're getting acres of land, and you're getting space between your neighbors, and you're getting a larger house, and you're getting peace of mind and sort of a quieter way of life.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
And what is the commute to the city, right? It's a longer commute. You were saying, so
it is.
Bronxville and
So
is
Bronxville's
basically
25 minutes on the train.
right.
And it's a very commuter friendly town. So you zip into the
Hmm.
train 10 minutes max, depending on where you live. Here in northern Westchester, there's a bit of a trade off. You get more peace and a lot more bang for your buck, but there's a longer commute. So if you left from the Bedford Hill station, for example, it would be about an hour, 60 minutes or so on the train that has local stops. In Pound Ridge, some people choose to go to the Stamford, Connecticut station, which once you
Hmm.
get there is a 45-minute express straight shot to the city. And depending on where you live in Pound Ridge or Bedford even, it could be 20 minutes drive, 15 minutes drive, 10 minutes drive. It just depends. So
Right.
it's
Well, that
longer overall, but
well
it's a
that makes
trade-off.
sense, right?
Yeah.
And I think everybody's now uh, I guess I would say discovering, but that's not the right word. But they're trying to decide how many times a week you actually need to be in the office, right? So
Right.
if you're going to be in the city
Yeah,
2, maybe 3 days a week, and you're home 4 or 5 days a week,
that's right.
and
That's it.
everybody knows on the train that's your magic hour to do your work alone without being interrupted. So,
Exactly, exactly. And when I get people who are, young, let's say younger buyers, right? And they're from the
hmm,
city, like, oh, but what about the commute? We're not in the office anymore, but we're still worried. What if we have to go back in? I say the magic hours are the back and forth from the city. You get peace of mind. You can read. You can fall asleep. You can do some work. It's actually really great concentrated time for you. It's me time in a way on the train.
right.
Yeah.
And what kind of value do you get versus Southern Westchester for maybe
A
not
lot.
there?
So I'll tell you. So here's an example. Okay. I'm going to look at my
Okay.
notes. So the average entry price
Hmm.
for a house in Bedford is $855,000 in 2020. So that
Got
is
it.
up 38% from 2019 because of the COVID boom, the COVID bump, or whatever you want to call it. But
Incredible.
it's still not bad. I mean, the entry price down county in certain towns is way higher. It's 1.5, 2 million, things like that. So 855 for the Bedford Central School District, which encompasses Pound Ridge, Bedford, and Mount Kisco.
Got it.
So yeah, and then Katona Lewisboro schools are the average entry sale price is $749,000, up 23% from 2019, and that encompasses part of Pound Ridge, Katona, and South Salem.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. So that
yeah.
those are some really great value neighborhoods.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
and I know a lot of people that are, selling their I'm going to call it efficient to be polite because I sell efficient 2 bedrooms in the city, right?
yeah.
For like 1,112, and they get up there, and a lot of them are not maxing out. They're buying something for 800, 900, and they're pocketing the difference, right?
That's right.
So that's kind of a nice set. So tell me, like what are like one or two of the blue chip towns now? I think everybody heard of Bedford, right? Martha
Yeah.
Stewart is there.
Yes. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about like what's blue chip out there, and then what's up and coming.
So blue chip is Bedford, as we know.
Hmm.
Richard Gere, Michael Douglas was here. Just a lot of famous people live in Bedford, and they're just quiet and they go about their business and nobody cares that they're here, which they love. But up and coming are Pound Ridge and Mount Kisco. Now, Pound
Mm.
Ridge was the sort of the quiet country haven for the uber rich back in the day when banking and railroad was how these people made their big money. The magnates made their
Hmm.
money. So those people have always had country houses up here, and they've had acres and acres of land, and it's been totally private, and just really nobody knew about it. Then it sort of turned into more of an artist enclave.
Oh,
So a lot of
interesting.
creatives started coming up here in like the 50s and 60s. And for the land and the privacy and just the fact that it was really way under the radar. So you had
Hmm.
super rich who wanted nothing to do with anybody when they were up here. And then you had the creatives who also needed that brain space and that physical
Right.
space to be their creative selves. Now it's very affordable because we have very low taxes relative to all the other towns in Westchester. Even Bedford, our taxes are in some cases almost half of what an identical property in Bedford would be in Pound Ridge.
Wow.
They really drive to keep the taxes low. They call themselves a town that likes to say yes. So they like to be very amenable to newcomers, very amenable to residents. It's an old-fashioned town. There's not much computerized. You walk in, it's a handshake, your word is your bond kind of thing. It's beautiful.
Very
I live in
nice.
Pound Ridge. It's a beautiful town. It's a beautiful town. So that's an up and coming area, because also the town, because of all the Brooklyn people that have moved here, the town is so vibrant and creative. We have a number of excellent restaurants. We have fantastic clothing stores. We have a cheesemonger here. Oh my
Wow.
God. And they make grilled cheese sandwiches. They make a chocolate grilled cheese sandwich at Plum's Cheese on Westchester.
Sean, we're gonna have to take Noble up there.
Well, I'm telling you, I told you I was inviting you guys to come up when you're ready, right?
Well,
My first thing, you're coming up, and I'm giving you a tour.
We're coming up. Absolutely,
Yeah.
We'll definitely do a tour. All right.
Yeah.
So you said Pound Ridge, and the other one was
Mount Kisco. Mount Kisco.
Okay.
Now
Tell me about
is
that.
really, I'm calling it a commuter town, because the train runs right through the town. It's not a disturbance or anything like that. You have an abundance of retail. It's going through transition now. COVID, I went there the other day, and it was actually really sad. A lot of the mom and pop shops had to close shop because of COVID. It was really, like, it hurt my heart. And but it'll come back. I mean, the town of Mount Kisco is really rebooting itself. They're trying very hard to attract, hip, cool eateries and shops. And it's a foodie haven, Mount Kisco. We have food almost from everywhere in the world right in Mount Kisco. And the restaurants, except for one, the restaurants have not had to close down, which is really great. That made me happy.
Oh, that's
because
great.
if you like food, we've got Ethiopian food, Indian food, Middle Eastern food, a burger joint, sub shop. You've got it all. A Starbucks. We've got a specialty coffee shop, Mimi's Coffee. We've got everything there. And so they're starting to build condominiums there for like a single person or a just starting out family, or a family that just no longer is dealing with kids and they want to downsize, but they want an easy commute to the city. So they have a whole condominium project going up. They have a lot of wonderful houses. It's a walk to town kind of place as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds great. That sounds really great.
Place.
And now, here in New York, of course, minimum 20% down. If you're buying a co-op, you have to have minimum 2 years of housing and expenses in reserve.
Right.
Which I hope they change soon if they want to maintain their price levels at all. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
So at any rate, what do you need to put down out there?
So with the different loans, you can have a VA loan, an FHA loan for starter homes, first-time home buyers, where you can put down nothing. I always encourage my buyers to put down as much as they can, even if they're doing an FHA or VA loan, which only requires 0%. I'm like, you want to see some skin in the game. At the end of the day, it all ends up in the seller's pocket. So I don't get that logic, yet I respect that logic, because everyone wants to have a meeting of the minds. They want to see skin in the game. You don't have to put down very much, so they compromise on a small amount. Standard is 20%, though.
Okay, standard is 20%.
Correct.
But you don't have to have the excessive reserves, and
you
own the home, and you get to do what you want with it.
Exactly.
Right?
There's no rules. I mean, there are town rules. You can, there's a buildable envelope. You can't cut down any tree that you want sometimes, but you're free and clear. You can run, you can scream. There's no one below you or above you. Quiet. They walk too hard or something like that. Listen, I love the city. I lived there for many years before I had kids and moved up here.
Right.
But, and the city is amazing. And when I'm done with my children up here, I will downsize and get a little pied-à-terre in the city as well. I'll keep this house too. New York never dies. But no, you can stretch your arms. You can just yell, and you don't have to worry about your neighbor. And it's just fun. It's just fun.
That's great.
You own your own grass. You're not sharing it with millions of other people either in Central Park.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's kind of move into like some real stuff, and let's see what you have for us, right? So you have, we're going to do the official screen share, and you want to show us kind of like, it's working.
Okay. Let's see, Martin. This is not my strong point. Okay.
I know, but we did a test run thanks to Jared. All right, so the first thing we're going to see here is entry level, correct?
This is entry level. This is in Pound Ridge, entry level. I had the buyer for this, and my good friend and partner on my team now, Beth Silfin, who I love, she was the listing agent for this. And this, I got a call, actually, it was interesting. I got a call on it And
Can you
not
flip
on
through the
this.
pictures as you talk, Betsy?
I'm so sorry. Yes, of course. So this is a
Okay.
ranch, but it has a
Okay.
beautiful developed lower level. It's on 2 acres, room for a pool. And
Wow.
they've done, I mean, this little, you can't see what I'm doing.
Just a quick stat. I'm sorry to bug you, but so
ahead.
like what's the square footage? How many bedrooms? How many baths? And the
Thank you.
price?
Okay. Sorry. You keep pushing me along. That's fine.
I
It's
know.
about
I get the flow.
2,500 square feet. It's
Wow.
4 bedrooms, 3 baths with a full wine cellar. Open
Wow.
concept, which is what people want. So there were walls, but the former owner took down the walls. And my client is going to come in and like whitewash everything. The walls will be a tone of white. The cabinets will be like a beachy white. It's really going to be beautiful. And it's total privacy. This house is on a cul-de-sac. I want to get to, so there's the deck. This is a very expensive
Beautiful.
patio. Yeah. And it's totally flat, which is not always not always easy to come by. I want to see if I can get to the wine cellar. No,
That's great. And what was the
box.
price that this sold for?
So this sold at $755.
Wow. 2,500 square feet, 2 acres, 755. And the yearly taxes on it was what?
Taxes were under 15.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly. Under 15,000 a year. Look at that wine cellar. That's a custom wine cellar in the basement. There's an office down there. There's walkout, lower level. Like, who gets this for under $1 million? You would see this wine cellar in a $5 million house.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
This is like heavy duty stuff. That's one of the guest rooms. Anyway, it's a straightforward house, but there's tremendous value. So that's in Pound Ridge. That was Cradle Rock East.
That's amazing.
Closed. Yeah. It was a great. Okay, now we want to go to the next one.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you have it all tabbed up, ready to go.
I tried to be a little tech savvy. It was not easy. Okay.
Right, and now are we in again? Like on a little bit of the stats. Is this like the next level up or mid market or?
Correct. So this is the next level up. This house is. I have the buyers for this one too. We are in contract on this. The reason I picked this is because this is something by a builder who's no longer with us, but his family still lives in Pound Ridge. This is a Vuko Toshkovich home. And most of them that we see around Pound Ridge, and they're in Connecticut as well, and I believe in Harrison too, some in Lower Westchester, they're usually white. This is unique because, it's wood siding. They've kept it in sort of the wood grain wash, and these people have kept it immaculately. The one thing about a Toshkovich home is they were built for form and not necessarily function, so they don't always stand the test of time. So people who are truists and really want a true Toshkovich home, not one of his students, not something similar, they want his home, they know they're going to come in and spend some money if the owner hasn't kept it up. These owners have kept it up. It's unbelievable. So there's an aerial view, has a pool.
Wow.
This is on over 6 acres. I can't tell you the selling price, but it's smack in the middle between 1 million and 2 million.
Okay.
About.
Fair enough.
So,
fair enough.
6 acres, total privacy. It's up against preserved land as well. So you can scream and no one will hear you in a good way. There is a neighbor. It has its own pond. I mean, it's just incredible. It's incredible. Anyway.
Wow. And what's the square footage and how many bedrooms and baths?
So this is 4,500 square feet, and it has 4 bedrooms and 4 baths, a walkout lower level gym, can be used for anything. They have it outfitted as a very high-end gym. And then my people are going to extend the kitchen and make it like a whole outdoor room connecting right to this beautiful pool, gunite pool. And it has a waterfall. There's a big rock there. That's actually a waterfall.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So and people love Toshkovich houses. I mean, they come to Pound Ridge for it. You can see the light, the angles. He really was about nature, indoor, outdoor, a seamless transition. So this is how he would build his house. I mean, look at that. Soaring. Those are, at least 25, 30 feet of ceiling right there. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Amazing. And they feel good. When you're in them, they feel good. I always say to people, you have to try.
Did we lose Betsy, Jared?
It looks like she's frozen, yeah.
Okay.
Let me just give it her a second.
All right. Yep. Okay. I really like this Toshkovich house. This is awesome.
I know, me too. Yeah, this is great.
It's very
I like the lines. I like the
yeah.
circular features.
having those things.
Which also offers
we go.
very unique.
Oh, okay, Betsy, you froze for a little bit, but now you're back, which is
I'm so
okay. No,
sorry.
it's okay.
Okay, good.
All right, so yeah, you were just
Can I
stumbling through.
just jump in
Wow.
for a second? Can you guys
Yeah.
spell that? Can you spell his name? I mean, that's such a great home. I want to look
Yes.
him up, and I'm sure people will want to know who he is.
Very smart. Okay, so his last name is spelled Tashkovich.
Very nice.
Tashkovich. And I can say, I can send that. We can mention that in the
Yeah, we're gonna do a clip of this at the end. This is great, Betsy. This is really informative. And 6 acres. And what are the taxes on this per year?
So this is a different one. That one, the taxes were like 30 something. Amazing.
Oh, okay.
And so can I rush through 2 last ones?
Yeah. I want to see. Yeah. Well, we got like 10 minutes, so we got some time. Absolutely.
Plenty of time. Okay, so this is another thing Pound Ridge is known for, is the unique. So I've saved the 2 most unique properties for last. This one is on Upper Shad Road. It is 245 Upper Shad Road. This is listed by my friend and partner, Beth Silfin.
Very nice.
This is right up to preserve land. This is an old barn. It used to be a pub. I believe George Washington slept there or drank there at least. Yeah. Beth knows the details, but she gave them to me. Of course, they went in one ear.
That George Washington sure got around. I hear that all the time.
Right?
George Washington
Isn't that funny?
here.
I know. Who really knows? But I mean, look at this. This is an some of the beams are original. Some of the floors are original. There's just a lot of light. So you walk to the left of the fireplace is the entry, and look at that. That's a copper bar, old millwork. It's custom stained glass sort of balcony reading nook. It's pretty incredible. I mean, look at that. This is the original pub. This is the original room right here, which is now their family room. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Beautiful custom kitchen. And of course, everyone likes to put their stamp on things. So this may not be for everyone, but it's an excellent kitchen. That's certainly nothing to sneeze at. And then, of course, wine cellar, wine room, temperature control wine room. They have a butler's pantry with another kitchen, mini kitchen. And just beautiful. And so this backs up to something called the Zoffnass Preserve, and you have your own walking and hiking trails, and you literally go through a gate on your property and you have walking and hiking trails for days.
That's
Absolutely
amazing.
Stunning. Yeah.
Now what was the asking price on this? And
1.999.
Incredible. And what the square footage and number of bedrooms?
Oh my God, I'm totally forgetting. It's approximately 5,000 square feet. Beth will kill me. And I believe it's 5 bedrooms.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's beautiful. There's a turret up, with a bedroom in it. Like, it's a very much of a fairy tale kind of fantasical house. It's very, very special. And it's
Can we see the outside?
Huh?
Can we see
Sean
the
wants to
outside
see
of the house?
Oh,
the outside?
Sean, yes. Come on.
Yes.
Let me get you there. That's the master. Okay, hold on. The primary. We're supposed to go to the primary now. Why does it keep doing this to me? Jared, what am I doing wrong? Okay, look at the pool. Pool is huge. That has a spot in there with a fountain.
Wow.
There's another aerial. So in the back, so the brick drive is obviously the front of the house. Then the back, where all the evergreens are, that's the Zoffnass Preserve.
Wow.
That's the straight on shot from the road. That's what you see when you turn in. You could put a gate, another aerial. That's
amazing.
That's the footbridge to the Zoffnass Preserve.
Wow.
Yeah. And the pool is huge. It's so beautiful. So that's just it. I mean, some of these houses, you could barely buy the land for the listing price.
Right.
This is,
right.
Yeah. I mean, and you couldn't build this house for, $2 million today. You couldn't. No. There's no way. And so people get caught up on price, but we always try to educate them that with the value that's there is,
right.
You couldn't reproduce this. So it's just, there's tremendous value. Now we'll go to my gem. So
this is
this is the diamond right here. So this is my listing, 217 Trinity Pass Road. It is a beautiful, totally private estate with a hard true tennis court, a beautiful 50-foot pool, 100 feet of slate wraparound terrace. It's incredible. I just picked this room for the first shot because it's, getting into winter and it's a very cozy reading nook.
Yeah, that feels very great. So what,
Yeah.
again, what's the asking on this, and how many acres and size and all that?
So this
Just
is
for a
three and a
reference?
quarter, $3.25
Okay.
million, and 6.5 acres. And Amy, I'm totally spacing on the size of the house. Can you believe this? My own listing. It was just what's our, unmute yourself. What's our size? All right, never mind. I'll look it up. Hold on. I
Fair
have
enough.
it right here. The size is 5,500 square feet, 5 bedrooms,
Got
5
it.
baths, 6.5
Wow.
acres. Yeah. And the taxes are amazing. 42,000. That's accurate for this year. For
Okay.
6.5 acres with a pool, hard true tennis. So let's take a look. There's an aerial shot.
Wow, gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's kind of centered in the land. So the
Mhm.
land expands around it almost in a circle. It's incredible.
Very nice.
And it's tucked back from the road, so you can't even see really much of it from the road. And the word that my clients like to use for this house is that it's indestructible. They've raised like 2 generations of kids in this house, their children. This was their summer house, their grandchildren. They called it Camp Singer. That's the family name. And
Wow, very nice.
custom, you wouldn't believe. And there were 2 expansions on this property, custom everything. This thing will outlive all of us, this house. It's unreal. And when you try it on, like I like to say, there's the 50-foot pool with a grandfathered in diving board. You can't get diving
I
boards
know.
anymore.
No,
Yeah.
that's amazing. It's
So,
gorgeous.
and that, it worked. That's actually a good one. I mean, look at that. All stone, custom to these people, and a lot of reclaimed wood and stone, Belgian block, radiantly heated floors. Look at that. We are looking now, right as you enter the house, you get a straight shot right through.
Beautiful.
It's incredible. It's
I
incredible.
feel like I'm in Aspen.
Right? So that's what I mean, it's anyone who's Aspen, Telluride, Santa Fe, Montana, Idaho, who wants that kind of feeling. And honestly, this for sure, with all that stonework, the beams, there are steel connectors that you can see because it's a little bit, it's sort of industrial rustic as well.
Wow.
Very cool for today. And you can change what you want. They were very much in the style. So they made their inspiration was the Adirondacks. So they're very much, and those sheds, the horns that you see, no animal died. What happens with it, for people who don't know, sheds, the moose and the deer and the, whatever has horns.
Antlers, yeah. They lose them every season.
Exactly. They lose them. So there are people who make a business out of this. They go and they find out and they sell them. And so that's what the antlers are on the, I always like to tell people. Some people are very sensitive to that. So, and these floors are radiantly heated. There's 2 dishwashers. It's an entertainer's kitchen. I mean, look at that.
That's amazing.
And those are the doors that are the accordion doors that open. Just, you pull them open and they have an automatic screen that comes down. It's very custom. And this was a custom made on-site stair. And again, just another custom touch. You have I'll show you the other one. There's a view coming down from the primary bedroom. They just took in light wherever they could. Now, this is so interesting. This is the 2-person office.
Okay. This looks great.
Yeah, it's a rare African hardwood. And I think it cost them, this was a while back, but in the early 90s, maybe, it cost them then like $23,000 just to ship that wood in, just shipping alone.
Wow.
That one piece. And that's 1 ring of a tree. That's the width of half of the width of the tree. So it's just, I mean, that's the family media room. And that's part of the primary. The primary is like a loft. So, it's you got to love wood to love this house, but you can do with the wood what you want. This is another one, custom designed. That is all, well, not all, but some of reclaimed wood from the property that they've designed that with. It's just gorgeous. And look, I mean, just look at it. It's just all seamless. It all goes together, and they're very
really an enjoyable space. That's amazing.
Walk out, lower level. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. That's redwood, I believe.
Wow.
Not redwood. I'm forgetting what it is. Burlwood sink. Sorry, and that's what we call the bunk room. Burlwood sink. You can see it says Camp Singer on the towel.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And look at that.
Great. Well, we're almost out of time, Betsy, here. I like to keep this close to the 1:30 mark. So this has been really helpful. So you saw some great entry level points here coming in, and the mid range and higher end. I mean, it's incredible value. This in Aspen would be $10 million, no questions asked, right? And you don't have to fly out there. So
No. Amazing.
This has just been really informative and I think really helpful. Do you want to say anything on a little closing statements at all, Betsy?
Give me a call. I'm here.
A true salesperson.
There you go.
I'm here to help. Give me a call.
Always here to help or just questions. If anyone wants more information on Vuko Toshkovich, for example, hit me up on social media, whatever you want. My phone number's all over the internet like the rest of us. I can happily give you information anytime. And if anyone like Martin, you guys want a tour, I'm always happy to just come give a tour.
What's it up again? We'll do
it. I love where I live, so love to sell it.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Betsy Burnell with Compass in Westchester, Northern Westchester. And this is Martin Eiden with the Martin Eiden team. Thanks again for Ask the Expert, and we'll see you next Thursday. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Hold on a second, Betsy, afterwards. Thanks.
Okay.